Hey guys, what's going on? Payton here once again, and welcome back to my Manchester United career on FIFA 14. And remember that unbeaten record that I've been going on about so far this season for Manchester United? Well, it's still going strong, and I'd love to continue that run in our first fixture of this video in the Champions League, playing away against St Etienne. The last time out in the first fixture of the group stage this season was to be played at Old Trafford. We picked up a nice 2-0 convincing win against them, picked up those 3 points. I did really need those 3 points in this fixture because there was only one more game remaining in the group stage, and as you guys have seen, I think it was my previous video, it's still very tight. Anyone could be going through to the next round, the knockout stages of the Champions League at the moment. Schalke not looking too good. It just seems to be split between St Etienne, Feyenoord, and of course this Manchester United side. As you saw from the starting 11, Mandzukic did start this one with Kagawa slipping in behind. I did decide to rest Rooney as all the important fixtures in the Premier League against the likes of Liverpool, City, Chelsea are starting to approach pretty fast. So I need him fully fit for that game. I don't want him to be picking up a silly injury which will see him out on the sidelines for maybe a couple of months or so. We definitely need him after the form Rooney has been in so far this season. He's probably been the central figure for us getting that unbeaten run and being on such a path of destruction. But jumping into this game, it was pretty split in the first half between both teams. We pretty much had equal possession, equal chances on goal. Cleverly there, great opportunity to put United into the lead. Kagawa also had another opportunity a bit earlier on, as you saw, but it just wasn't working out. The goalkeeper was on form for St Etienne. A look at De Gea, stands there and then all of a sudden makes a decision that he's going to come out, and he did manage to get a hand to that, push it away, but the danger was still there for Manchester United. We needed to clear this one, and De Gea on top form as always in this game. So it's time to counter-attack, see if we can move the ball up as quick as possible. It just wasn't happening. In the second half, the wind started to change. It looked like United were going to pick up the win in this one. Mandzukic, great opportunity, wonderful volley, and it just hammered off the crossbar, hit the line. I thought it was in. I thought that should have been a goal. Ashley Young got a goal for United though, with the same attack from United, which is great stuff. It wasn't the best of goals, to be fair, but I feel as though Mandzukic was robbed of a goal there. I know it came out straight away, but I do think it crossed the line. So what we're going to do here, we're going to just see the replay from Ashley Young getting that goal. Let's see that opportunity again in slow-mo from Mandzukic. He volleys that, wonderful hit off the crossbar. Did it cross the line, the ball? We definitely need goal line technology on FIFA, on FIFA games. I reckon it should be implemented somehow. It'd be wonderful. I reckon he was robbed of that. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. But in the 59th minute, just a couple of minutes later, Grozicki for St Etienne made it 1-1, but there was still time as we came up to the hour mark to try and get a winner in this one. But so unfortunate there. De Gea did come out. Maybe he should have stayed on his line for that one, but unfortunately for United, the ball was just slotted past him into that bottom corner. Nice and easy. Another great opportunity for Kagawa. There wasn't enough pace or power behind that shot, so the goalkeeper pulled off a nice save. We got a corner out of it. Chris Smalling coming in, and goalkeeper slash defender getting in the way of that ball from going across the line. Nice through ball from St Etienne. Grozicki on the ball. De Gea this time coming off the line and making it count, knocking that one out. Chris Smalling, who was there to back up the defence, trying to clear the danger, but again St Etienne trying their best to put a second goal past De Gea, but it just wasn't happening. The game did come to an end. The final score was 1-1. Ashley Young getting on the score sheet, and we just pick up a point in the group stage. Here is the final scores of the evening. As you can see, Schalke picked up a 3-0 win against Feyenoord, so that kind of works in United's favour, but it's still going to be very tight come the very last day of the group stages in the Champions League. Anyway, we move on to our next fixture. It's time for the Manchester United-Liverpool derby to be played at Old Trafford. There is the league table, still currently unbeaten in the Premier League so far this season, as well as Arsenal, but that pressure still needs to be maintained in the Premier League. There's my starting 11 anyway. Quite a few changes since we played St Etienne. Obviously Rooney returns to the starting 11, slipping in just behind Mandzukic, who did put in a good performance against St Etienne, so I thought why not, we'll start him in this one. And also Garay We got Fellaini in central mid. Sometimes I've noticed that picking a team like that can sometimes work in your favour, so I just went for it. I was feeling confident, and as you just saw on the league table, Liverpool, they find themselves in 4th position. Yeah, they're still in the title race, just a couple of points behind Chelsea. They are 4th, but they're not doing as good as they was last season. I mean, they was up there 1st, 2nd position this sort of time of the season, so I look to take advantage of that. Of course, Wayne Rooney with a crossing, finding Nani, and he headed that one back into the centre of the box to find Mandzukic with an overhead kick. So unlucky. I was hoping that was going to go into the top corner and pass Reina, and that probably would have been a contender for goal of the season. Nani, another chance. His head just isn't in the game. Well, it wasn't in the game. As we all know, Nani is still homesick at the moment. If any of you guys missed that episode, just to quickly recap, Nani came to me, said he's homesick and may be leaving United January. He may force that transfer, I'm not too sure, but we'll see. I'm trying to prevent it as much as possible with offering him contracts, starting him in games. We'll see what happens. But anyway, Manchester United found themselves in the lead against Liverpool at Old Trafford in the 25th minute, thanks to a goal from Wayne Rooney as he slotted that one past Reina with ease into the bottom corner. Liverpool had their work cut out now. They needed to get back into this game if they wanted to pick up a result from this fixture at Old Trafford. It was a nice attack from Liverpool. Sturridge picking out Henderson in bags of space. 1-on-1 with De Gea, but thankfully De Gea did save. Mandzukic from the halfway line stole the ball from Jose Enrique and ran that one into the box, struck it on his right foot and slapped that one past Reina. United were now 2-0 up against Liverpool at Old Trafford in the 39th minute. The away fans at Old Trafford were questioning whether their team Liverpool would be able to get back into this game after going 2-0 down to Manchester United before half-time. I think we all know by now that Daniel Sturridge has a mighty left foot on FIFA. He struck that one, but De Gea again saving that one, putting it past for a corner kick. Nothing came of that, obviously, otherwise I would have shown it in the highlights. But Liverpool, they were pressing for it in the second half as we was getting closer and closer to the final whistle, and that's when teams come alive, it seems, nowadays in the Premier League. That is definitely something I've noticed in real life. Whenever there's extra time, there's always going to be a goal. You can guarantee that there's going to be a goal in extra time. That's in real life. But going back to this game, Mandzukic made it 3-0 to Manchester United. 82nd minute, thanks to a cross from Valencia. Yeah, it was a cross. Get over it. With such power from Mandzukic's head, the ball came back out of the goal. There was one final chance from Liverpool. Coutinho could have made it 3-1, got a consolation goal, but it just wasn't working out for Liverpool on the day. Final score 3-0 to United. Mandzukic almost got a hat-trick. 3 goals and 3 points to add to the league table. Still unbeaten in the Premier League, and I was hoping that confidence was going to carry on over to our next fixture, which was to be played in the Capital One Cup at Old Trafford against Wigan Athletic. This was an opportunity, I thought, to play some of the youngsters. We've got Ben Amos starting in goal, we've got Zaha, we've got Lingard in that central attacking midfield position, slipping in just behind Danny Welbeck, who I know hasn't had many starts this season for the first team at United. I know I keep saying it, but I want to try and change that and make Danny Welbeck a first team player. But this game against Wigan, not only was it an opportunity for me to play some of the youngsters, it was an opportunity for them to show themselves their worth in this United squad. And just look at the skill from Ben Amos, taking that out of the grasp of Jordi Gomez and then flicking that one round Espinosa. Wonderful stuff. Coming so far off his line as well, so dangerous. But I think one of the centre-backs was there to fill in. Obviously he couldn't use his hands if anything was to happen. But cleverly, great chance, but absolutely rued it there. And it went wide, well wide of the mark. Another opportunity for United, another shot. Just wasn't enough power behind it. In the second half, Wigan on the attack, they did start their first team. And Jordi Gomez, after a cross from McLean, and made it 1-0 to Wigan in the 49th minute. When you look at the replay, I do feel as though Ben Amos could have done a lot better there, as well as my centre-back that was actually marking him. I think that's Johnny Evans at the time. he should have done a lot better, and so United found themselves on the back foot against Wigan at Old Trafford. Kagawa, as you just saw, did really well there to keep the ball in and keep the game going instead of having to restart with a throw. And we was just trying to string some passes together, trying to grind Wigan down. They was on the defence. They was going to do absolutely everything necessary to make sure that they went through to the semi-finals of the Capital One Cup. But Man United should never be counted out. Cleverly, with a nice chip over for Hernandez, crosses that one in, and Zaha goes for the fancy overhead kick, but it's wide of the mark, and Manchester United now find themselves crashing out of the Capital One Cup. So unfortunate, and I'm sure some people would say, well, you shouldn't have played such a young side against Wigan. But here is the tournament tree. Huddersfield will be going through to the semis. Wigan are through, as you know. Chelsea are yet to play Norwich, and Watford have to play West Ham. Anyway, guys, that is the end of this video. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.